and the linked server as well. That was you need to have a proper spreadsheet at some point with what's the hello zone. I think we used to have, oh, I don't even know, last one we had Book wanted to ban the factions first and then holy moly, we didn't. No. Wait, fuck, no. Wait. Wait, fuck. Thunder, not like this. Pull up the notepad. You'll see. Enter has banned. I should maybe add bans to the overlay as well at some point. LC audio. Okay, wait, Buzz, you have your match right now as well. You have like training with Blaze or what? No. I have the option to change this. So technically know what maps Thunder wants to. I mean, it's half of them are the 4-player maps. Okay. Not writing those down. Oh, what? Well. This is the second one for both players, am I wrong? Wait, let me double check just so I'm not being the one that's... No, it's picks. Okay, picking was... Pick. I do not have enough sleepy sleep time to catch up with the wavy noise. Was he not going to ban wavy noises? Well, whatever. Like wavy noises. So I think it's one more ban, 2 bans from Thunder, and then last ban for... That was always his trouble. Okay, small ban. Map list again, because I need of what to decide is gonna be. We still have Reconcile on the board and Raven's Pass is there. Look, I play randomizers in Elden Ring. Yes, there's cheat engine on the desktop. The amount of soft logs encountered. First map is King's Road. I can write it down. It's gonna... So this is Enter Spring. Then we pick position. Technically no garrisons, and everything else is markers only, already been done. One. I get the picks from both of them in game. To remind Enter that he has to pick his faction as well, but go out on Discord. There you go. and SCEA. Both of which factions we don't see very often in here, to be honest. Especially EA, even though I did technically get my ass handed by EA on this map. So let's address that, I suppose. Okay, so. And I'm going to spectate the Epsilon. Three, two, one. Get to start loading. Okay, there it goes. On the top right side we have Thunder playing EA, a very intriguing pick for this map. On the bottom left side we have Enter playing Scorpion Cell, which also quite a rare pick. But it has it. We've at least seen Epsilon a bit more often on this map working. Again. The dog scout in the back of the base. You're finding an Epsilon, so you might want to beware of trailers and such. Okay, there's a bit of lag, but that's not uncommon for the start of the match. Second engineer not yet moving towards the middle. On the other hand, Enter is gonna get the top oil, possibly uncontested. Oh, he's gonna get both, at least for the first capture bonus. This one's gonna simply not be contested. This one's probably gonna be captured eventually, but undefended, or not. Just these 5 GIs. People complain about lag, was still within the range where I'd be willing to go for a rehost. I think within like 2 minutes, it's pretty fine. Both players pretty standard. That's a nice crawl. The Warfag. Enter is still a bit late on the Warfag right now. They do have a significantly larger army and a bit more money in the bank. No, not necessarily that much of a significantly larger army, but rather not as much of it spent in dogs. The first GAT is out, and now we're starting the minor production. Handful of archers. Not a lot of tanks yet on the field. Thunder does have the second ore patch already. It's currently not being harassed in any capacity. Oh, the archers are going down. It's gonna be that initiate. And the dogs are running away with it. Currently broke, spamming some pillboxes for extra safety. That's not I don't know what to call it. It's reasonable. Radars are out. The second barracks is being worked on. Second NG is going to take the middle. Thunder's gonna get some map control with this. Unless he's going for the repair. Maintenance facility. Got the first Rocketeer. Gonna go all out on Rocketeers. He's going for the shield command, so this is not US. We're not gonna see Warhawks. It's a singular Rocketeer that's been built. Enter does not yet have the low ground. He's on 4 miners as opposed to 7? No, 8. The shield command is very far in the back of the base, so a driller can actually do a pretty big number. However, there's a lot of tanks on the field as well. They're gonna have a hard time going to GGIs. Some seals for the backup as well. There's already Mirages on the field. Ammo pillboxes. Maybe I should have allied to the EA player though. Oh. Sizable tank force, but it's not gonna do a lot, because the Gats are in production. They're gonna do something to the GGIs. Tier 3 is being worked on right now, at least from the EA. There's an extra ore refinery, which is not gonna be able to be placed on the low ground, because I don't think this is quite buildable land. The most reasonable place for that refinery is probably towards the top orb, which is slightly unfortunate. The seal is going to go around the map. There's no reaction to it, but it's gonna have a hard time to get anything but this ore refinery. Which... Okay, it got crushed, but it did get the refinery, but it did just get crushed. And the second refinery goes on the far ore. This one's already pretty mined out, so it's not necessarily a bad way to just have that immediately replaced up there. Others already go for the purifier, Siegfried's already out, snipers are built. A lot of Mirages already on the field. A lot of Gats. Now that's a lot of Gats. Enter's moving all the army at once. Not the miners. The miners still doing it. They're actually exclusively long range mining right now, are they not? I think just the one miner that came with the refinery is currently mining the low ground ore, which is also pretty much long range mining. On the other hand, Thunder pretty much mined out his ore. And he's got the ore refinery in the front lines for the next ore. I don't think it's about keeping Siegfried alive, because there's not a lot that can handle this amount of GGIs. And Prisms are also coming out at this point, so and GGI Prism is actually a pretty competent mix-up if you can actually micro everything pretty properly. Grand Cannons on a somewhat base call. It's EA, so it's probably the most reasonable faction to spam defenses on, to be fair. These are probably here exclusively as like an anti-driller technique at this point. Because most of the tech is around this area. The shield command can probably still go down and maybe a very... Did I see the... That's the entire army gone by the time I even looked properly. I did see something targeting this, so I was correct in the flash, but... While he does retreat the entire army to handle this, it's probably not gonna change much. Thunder's also floating like 13k right now. And the tier 3 is... Tier 3 does stay up, but with how allies work, not having the Air Force command actually does lose a lot of their actual tech. Not the Prism tanks though, those are absolutely still staying. It's mainly the shield command tech that you end up losing though. Tier 3 still never happened on the other side. The push in the back of the base did keep them alive for a bit longer, but they have a very much smaller army size. The 3 single Prism tanks take down the old Eric. These 4 miners are just AFK and there's just 2 of them in the front lines on the other hand. The GGs are not gonna do a lot to the initiates, but the snipers are. And the Prism tanks might die here. No, gonna be fine. They're gonna go for another backdoor. There's also Paladins. Oh, Paladins, right? Yeah, Paladins. Already on the field. And that's not being microed. There's 19 units alive total. And all of the... No, all the miners... There's no ore refinery. And there's no money for the ore refinery. I think this is pretty safe to call GG at this point.
Player defeated.
Next map's gonna be Arabian Oasis. have one of the picks. Going for position 1. I think position 1 has a bit of an easier crawl towards the first set of gems. It's also got a bit harder access to this second big gold badge. Well, you know that King's Road was technically Enter's map pick, so Thunder might have an advantage on Arabian Oasis. Yep, Seer Zone. It's two slower factions. Up. Change the flags as well. Probably gonna spectate LB just for the mines, because I'm assuming they might come into play more than the China mines. I forgot to update the score while at it. So on the top left side we have Thunder currently leading the series 1-0 playing Last Bastion. On the bottom right we have Enter playing China. Honestly, I'm not entirely certain on the meta picks for this map. I know Forward tends to have a pretty hard time actually base crawling. However, mainly because of the power plant situation. It should still be somewhat fine. You can either crawl with the MCV move. On the other hand, we have regular dog scouting. Owen does not have that privilege. They're going to use Lancers to get a vision. So they don't really have a proper way to defend this engineer going for this either. Dog gets spotted. It tries to get locked on, but back to scouting. The engineers are being sent towards the derricks. This one's been captured, this one might encounter the dog. But the knife frame is actually in both to defend it. The engineer takes a bit of a side route to keep himself going. Lancer is alive, but it's gonna run into another batch of conscripts eventually. Or it might just run into the miner. It gets a pretty decent scout before it goes down. And there's a second one coming from the top. Enter does get a first capture bonus, but Thunder's gonna have his Derrick at least. Loses a bit of the gold base with, but does have the gold over time income still. The Lancer's probably gonna have the same fate in the miner. That miner might ironically be somewhat close to veterans here this rate. Second power plant, okay, we're gonna see the radar dish. Oftentimes in the Soviet v Foreign matchup you see the bunker rushes. This game is absolutely not going to go that route. You see the cyber kernel being built first, which is also somewhat non-standard, because you often see the nanofiber loom for the secret huntresses. We do have the... I'm assuming... No, it is not an engineer jackal. Is it... Is it a lancer or is it a knight frame? I think it's a lancer. Three minus to the 6, 7 currently, with more of them on the way. Foreign does get a bit less value per miner build, but it's not such a significant margin to make up for the 8 versus 5 currently. Mainly especially because the gem mine is already getting patched out, or mined out. The power plant is still making enough distance to get towards the second gold match. Currently, the radar is not particularly well defended. It is. The oil refinery is gonna come and block some of the aggro. We see some Ivans and the demo truck. We might see some interesting gimmicky plays here. The Ivans are going around the map, the demo truck has... There's multiple demo trucks inbound still, being built. Nice. Thunder has gotten pretty good vision with the Jackal moving around the map, I'm pretty sure, but... Does he have the units to take care of Hunter or demo trucks inbound? He's not currently building any units, despite floating 11k. Cloudpiercer is on the way. We might be seeing Condor spam. Do we see Condors already inbound? Not yet. The next wind trap. And some knife frames. You see a lot of... I guess that makes sense why we had the sidebar canal first. I think it's also a bit better for the sake of base crawling down this route, but it's also the minefields, or the traps you get for confusion. That's a lot of demo trucks. There's no reason for all of them to go in the same route all at once. And yet, it might just work. I'm pretty sure 5 demo trucks can kill an MCV. But they have been seen. The crazy Ivans are still just in the water currently. There is a handful of Lancers ready to intercept. They're gonna do a serious number on the power. That's actually a lot of damage. Currently, not actually low power. But has also lost both the Cyber Kernel and the War Factory to that. And both of these are still pretty low. The Ivans are... Camel. Okay, they have been spotted, that's a knife thing. There's gyrocopters on the field, there's also foxtrots. Tier 3 is inbound, while Tier 3 on the Bowen side has been stalled significantly. We do not yet have vehicles, so foxtrots and gyros are gonna do a lot. Yeah, no, those 5 demo... If that power plant also died, that would have been clean. Well, he saw it somewhat early, but the Lancers were quite up in the north and all of the demo trucks just came to a very overextended, I suppose, relative to the defense it had, part of the base. We get a second MCV and we also have Tier 3 already here. I'm assuming, yep, Centurion is inbound, Juno is being built, we're probably gonna see this later soon. The Foxtrots have been sent, a lot of them died. I don't know how much they got to kill, but probably not enough. Vehicles are probably gonna be on the way soon. Tier 3 has been prioritized before the War Factory. We see a lot of Lancers. We get some long distance mining, but it's long distance mining with a spin blade. These two being next to each other also means that any super weapons are somewhat crippling here. We do see Uragan being built right now. Lancers are gonna be somewhat fine at handling the Centurion. We do have a nanofiber sink most likely up, so converting some units which are EMP immune, so they're actually very resilient against China stuff. I have Novas, which Hunters may do some nasty numbers to. Foxtrots are going for some extra power, however there's still enough oversaturation for power. Is there a spy attempt that's happening on this side? I'm pretty sure it has been seen, because the Foxtrots have passed by it, but... Okay, this one went straight to the corner. It seems to be waypointed next to another place. Precisely where? Not quite. This one's however stopped here. The entire army is on the south side, so there's not a lot of attention being paid to this side. Also, despite having the Conyard on the top side, there's not been a second gold expansion. We're currently just long distance mining on 7 miners. Oh, 3 of them are long distance mining, 4 of them are... I think they've just been sent to the next batch. At least a couple of them. Oh, that's the sweepers. I forgot what could have been. We see Guardians already, which are also EMP immune. We do have some Railgunners already being converted. This is a very nasty place for any form of super weaponry at the moment. That's another demo truck. gonna be somewhat hard to get some extra value out of. The Foxtrots have taken another sweeping run somewhere on the top side. I have however missed that one. That was something dying. I'm not sure if it was the Clairvoyant from earlier, because that did have a human corpse. Both players have their armies pretty much exclusively on the bottom side. There's actually 2 airfields doing somewhat continuous. Another 5 demo truck attempt. We'll see if it pays off. Top side also does have a lot of mines already, and the bottom side's already being worked on as well. So these are gonna significantly hinder any amount of pushing. No player actually went for the machine shop at any point. Thunder is straight up floating like 30k. I don't think he has a reprocessor, I don't think he's going for it. I think he's literally just going for power, power, and more power. He did however get a void machine. And the condos are now being built. The condos should win the gyrocopter fight. And there's not a... there is some sentinels, so the condor choice is gonna be risky, to say the least. Okay, 1 miner gets picked off, however a lot of them are already mining the corner here. And that does actually have 3 derricks as well. I think when, no, I'm not sure when that happened. I have 3 Garials, 2 Mastodons. The Sentinel dying for no reason to the Sweepers. It was like 3 Foxtrots down to for 1 Railgunner maybe? And that's the rest of them down. Those are most likely spies, I'm assuming. And considering the amount of power, it should be pretty easy to find at least one of them that's available to infiltrate. Unless they're going for something that's not power. Okay, the Void Machine is already starting to fire. The infantry numbers are pretty low and the tanks are also pretty low to say the least. Reapers are just taking down the demo trucks. Luckily they're not in base, so that's somewhat positive. This gold patch got pretty immediately swept up. Okay, these 2 are probably gonna maybe get the barracks, but I'm not sure if they're gonna get much more than that. They could get it, they're currently not being reacted to. Because the Void Machine is aiming instead. However, the Void Machine does not actually get the one-shot on the Nubas, so... the War Factory goes down. It's not the only one. Is this an actual Railgunner? I can't actually check that as a spectator. Both of these are in very weird positions given the ones I've seen earlier. I think they got slightly hindered by hitting the mines, and they never regained their aggro to infiltrate the buildings. That... okay. Railgunners are gonna take everything else down. That... take a screenshot of this for the sake of information. The fact that the condos are the ones chasing the sentinels is also questionable, but probably not really an issue. Thunder wasn't significantly further ahead in terms of... oh, that Desolator got a lot of units there. Fortunately, it might be a bit too late for that. The numbers are being tamed out, but so is the rest of the entire base. The Railgunners don't have excessive building damage, but there's an excessive amount of them, so they're simply gonna take over everything else. Focusing the production. He did get the power down. I don't know what else he got. He was sending the MCV towards the enemy, but... Why does this remind me of a particular game, if Zone was in chat right now? Yeah, and if that MCV actually moved up to the base, but... There was enough just being built in the background to handle that use case. The base has actually been left alive for reasons. But the MCV is absolutely cornered right here. Thunder is just killing the mummies right now. There are 5 of them left here, but... No. I don't think there's a comeback to be made out of this, but it does feel very much like playing with your food at this point. Yona's back out, because tier 3 actually never got taken out. They'll survive a singular nanofiber cloud, whatever they're called, I forget. Gallia's also radiation immune, so... Well, the entire army might go down to like 2 or 3 events, those 2 units are not gonna care. Radar's finally out, the MCV is still here, and enter call GG. Selling each building one by one, while the MCV still exists. Thunder does see it and he does target it. I'm not sure if Enter actually forgot about it. Did. It does actually outspeed the Jackals, but it's not gonna do a lot of combos at any point. Or not the Lancers. Oh, that might... That would have been quite cinema, but not quite. Hitting the mine would have also been somewhat cinema. There you go. One goes to 2-0 for Thunder. About it though. Peace to both players, and not sure if there's already another game going on. I just let me quick fix something. Going is live. Wait, zone I guess.